This is not there. So there are relative locators. Relative locators are introduced in Selenium 4. Before it was not there. We have only by.id, by.name, by.class name, by.xpath, by.css selector, by.tag name, by.link text, by.partial link text. Only these locators you have. Till Selenium 3 and Selenium 4 also these locators are there. In addition to that, they have added extra locators. Those are called relative locators. Relative means very close, right? Very close. You can identify the element. That's the relative locators. We have above, below, near, left to left of, to right of. These are the relative locators. So these locators are used to identify your web elements based on a particular element. You take one element, based on that, just the left of that element you can identify with that element, right of that element you can identify, above of that element you can identify, below that element you can identify. That you can do with this relative locators. So that's the relative locators means. So I'm going to show one demo on the relative locators. Even previously also I haven't covered this, and this session I'm covering relative locators. Even if you go to our Selenium 4 features, I introduced their relative locators concept. So you can access relative locators. First identify your base element. Based on that, left to right to bottom, above, anywhere you can identify. So that's the relative locators main purpose. Suppose you take a LinkedIn page, okay? If you take a LinkedIn page, you go to this. See, if you go here, see, sign in button I will identify. So this above, forget password is there. This below you have sign in with Google is there. So this again, above, below you can identify. So anything if you want to identify to the left and to the right, so you can do that also with this relative locators. Let's go and see that example, simple. Quickly we'll finish that stuff. That's a relative locators. Recently in Selenium 4 they added, and it is a static method. Okay, the relative locators is a class. Okay, so relative locators is a class. That class inside you can so that class has a one method. With method is there. With you want to identify that element by tag, or so what, with what element, what locator you want to identify. Then to the left of that you can identify that element. So let me show you Selenium 4 locators. Looking for exact URL is important there. So where you can use it, that's important. Looking for that. Import relative locator. Yeah. Selenium4 opening new tab that we have seen already. One more Selenium4 locators. Right. Yeah. So here it is. Selenium4 relative locators. So we need this URL. That's why I was, the proper examples you can find here. So let me give you this exam, this URL. Please make a note this URL so that it will be easy for you to practice. Even you can practice even LinkedIn also. This is the sign in you identify. Below you identify this one. Above you identify this. Below and above cover, it will cover. Okay. So that's how you can practice. Maybe even if you go to rediff.com, there also you have, right, Rediff sign in page. You can see, so if you go to sign in, you can see, you identify the sign in left side, you have a password edit box. Sign in right side, you have a create new account. Sign in below, you have a secure login text. So like that, you can identify elements. Sign in above, you have a username edit box. Like that, you can practice here also, in this area also. Maybe just a highlight that's enough. You don't need to do much. Okay, so I'm identifying this. Let me identify this. Open this URL. Okay, so you can go here. You can see here. So contact us. I'm identifying contact us. First, I'll identify this your name edit box. Right, your name edit box. The right is contact us button. To the left, you have email edit box. To the name above, you have your name label. So I'm covering here to right, to left, above. I'm covering already with this. So that's what I'm, first I'm identifying the name edit box. See, let's see here. So the page title, if you want, you can identify. Otherwise, I was getting some issue here. That's why I commented out. So first, identify the name edit box. Web element, name edit box, driver dot find element by dot ID. You have ID for this, so you can identify that ID. See. So you can identify with the ID locator. So there is a ID. You can see that ID form input text. Form input text. So then web element name edit box equal to driver dot find element by dot ID form input text. So name edit box dot send keys Ramesh. I just typed that. Okay. So I'm typing on this name edit box this Ramesh value. So report.log. Then I'm identifying the label web element name label equal to driver dot find element. See, I'm using a relative locator here. So relative locator dot, this is the where you need to focus. So relative locator, this is the class. Can you let me show you relative locator import? Relative locator dot see support dot locators dot relative locator. So this is the one you need to import. So org dot openqr dot selenium dot support dot locators dot relative locator class. So this class inside you have So with method with by dot tag name label. I'm identifying this label. Which label? What is the label of this name edit box? Your name is the label. That label I am identifying with the tag name label dot above. So where is this label? Above this name edit box, right? So I'm giving that. See, dot above name edit box. Name edit box above label I want. That is the name label element. So, sir, why, sir, you can directly write with text, you can write, and if it is a dynamically changing, that time these are the things very helpful for you. So, string name label text equal to the name label element dot get text. I'm getting the text of that label. That's here I used relative locator to identify based on this name edit box. Okay, so next, toRightOf. toRightOf, I'm using another locator. So identify the contact as button. See, this name edit box right side contact as button is there. I'm going to identify this element based on this. See how it is. Web element contact as button equal to driver dot find element relative locator dot with by dot tag name. What is the tag for this contact us button? So it might be input tag. That's why I put an input tag. You can see input tag here. Sometimes a button will be there. If button is there, you view button. Okay. Button. So with the tag name input dot toRightOf. toRightOf name edit box. So this contact us button is right side of this name edit box. That's what I'm saying. toRightOf name edit box. And then I'm highlighting that. Okay, I'm highlighting utility dot highlight element driver and this contact us button. So that's the one thing I'm covering. And even I can get the value. There is a value attribute. You can see value attribute. Here is the value attribute. This value attribute I'm fetching. So the element string contact us button value equal to contact us button element dot get attribute of value. So I'm getting that value here. I'm printing that. I'm asserting assert dot assert equals contact button value and contact us. Both are same or not. I'm just come back. toLeftOf. So email edit box. This name edit box left, which one is there? Email edit box. I'm identifying. I covered a toLeftOf, toRightOf, above, and here these are the things we covered. Okay. Then email edit box equal to driver dot find element relative locator dot with by dot tag name input. So that means I'm identifying this email edit box with the input tag and left to the name edit box, right? toLeftOf name edit box. Then you can so whatever you want to do on this element. Maybe if you want to type, you can type. I'm highlighting. I'm highlighting that element. So below another relative locator is there. So we'll see the below is this one is there, right? When you move the cursor here, label, this is the label. So label is there. By label, you can identify and get that value. Maybe you can get this. This field is required label. You can get this label also. Okay, that label how we got here, right? That you can get it. So label text, get text you can use. That also you can try. Let's try that. Web element error message, email error message, right? Email error message. So we should get that email error message label. Email error message label. So we have to give proper name. So driver dot find element relative locator dot with. So there is a method with method, static method. So by dot tag name label tag, just using label tag. So after this, below, it's a below, right? Below which a web element, email a web element. See below there is a two methods. Below by locator, below web element. I'll take the web element. Below the email edit box. Below the email edit box. First one only email edit box. So this is how you can identify. Then you can get the text. Get the label text. So we got that on the top, right? That label string. So label text. Label text equal to, so label element dot get text. That's it. Then you can do, if you want, you can print it. You can print this out. Label text is, you can print in this variable, it will store that variable, you print it. Okay, so this is the program. So let's go and run this. So Chrome driver I'm running. We will add in the, so this class I'll add in the test-ng program. So otherwise in the action start test-ng I will add. Go to source and here you add. But I have to add that entire point. Okay, so anyway, I'll add that test-ng programs dot relative locators. So let me add the code for that. Okay, so this properties, this one we need, right? This entire thing. So this is the before class that I will add here. That's it. So now run this program. Like this, please practice. Okay, this the relative locators above, below, toLeftOf, toRightOf. So those methods you can cover it. Build. Let's build it. So I'm not using that element locators. Basically, you can use where you can use these relative locators is one element base, other element you want to identify. That elements are dynamically changing. These locators will help you nicely. It is dynamically changing, and you want to get that. Based on the base element, you can identify above, below, left to right. You can easily identify. With one element, you can identify all the elements. That's the advantage with this relative locators. Relative means very close. You can identify the proximity of a particular element. You can identify other elements. You have to use a relative locator class dot with method. Then give what locator you, what tag you are using to identify that element, and based on the below or above of which element. I think it scrolled automatically because see it is yeah. Okay. It got failed, I think, because that's next element, that is not session not created, could not start a new session. Okay, second element, this one, relative locators, no such element exception. No such element exception is thrown. No such element. These exceptions also you should remember, because that's a very important, right? I didn't comment here, because let me comment this. 2 test cases I ran. So here I can see here, this element is not able to identify here, this element, because it doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do is, I will move the cursor. When you move the cursor to here, see, from here to here, if you move, then this field is required message you get. Then you can identify. So let me do that. Okay. How we can move the cursor from here to here? You first click on this element, then move here without typing here. Then you'll get automatic. So that's what I'm going to do. Where it is, I will email edit box, right? I will do that. Email edit box dot click. First I'll click that. So after clicking, I will move. So I'll just put some thread dot sleep. So 1 second I'm keeping. 1 second I'm keeping. So after that, I'll move the cursor to name edit box. Name edit box. Name edit box dot click method. I'll just click on that name edit box. So here is coming. Click method. That's it. Now we will get the error message. Definitely you will get that. Let's see that. Now run this again. To get this this label, I'm just trying that scenario. You need to bring that scenario, right? Without that scenario, you cannot see that message. I'm trying to bring that message. The cursor will go to that place. Even you can use move to element or click web element. You can do actions dot click. You can use the cursor will move to there. So what happened? So session not created. Okay. Let's do again. Build, clean install. Typed. Okay. See, now contact us also, you got it. Email is violating, and I'll move. See, now you got that, right? See, now it is going to, oh, it is not fetching. Maybe some time is needed. Oh, this field is required, you got it, see? But name label text is your name, correct? So this is the one, right? Yeah. See, you got it. That's scenario we created exactly for that. Yeah. So that's how you can use all this relative locators. Just try it out. Below, we used below concept also.